Good morning to one and all. I am Dr. Harshita, the coordinator of ATAL-sponsored 6 days online FDP. It gives me immense pleasure and a deep sense of pride to extend a warm and a cordial welcome to each one of you to the ATAL-sponsored 6 days online faculty development program on fostering brilliance, life skills for women's professional excellence. This FDP is thoughtfully organized by SDM College of Business Management, Postgraduate Center for Management Studies and Research, Mangaluru, with the objective of empowering women professionals by nurturing essential life skills, strengthening self-awareness, enhancing leadership capabilities, and enabling participants to confidently navigate the evolving professional landscape. This FDP is for 6 days and there will be 13 sessions delivered by eminent resource persons. As we embark on this enriching academic journey, we do so with the divine blessings of Lord Manjunatheshwara and the guiding inspiration of Parama Pujya Dr. D. Virendra Hegedeji, Dharmadhikari of Shri Kshetra Dharmasthala, whose values of service, wisdom, and social upliftment continue to inspire our institution. With this auspicious beginning, let us invoke the blessings of Almighty and formally commence this online faculty development program. On this auspicious occasion, it is my proud privilege to extend a warm and a respectful welcome to our most esteemed and honorable
Recording in
inaugurator,
progress.
Mrs. Shraddha Amit. We are truly honored by your gracious presence with us today, ma'am. I extend a warm welcome to you, madam.
Madam, kindly unmute yourself.
I also extend a cordial welcome to our esteemed director, Dr. Seema Shenoy, whose constant guidance and encouragement continue to inspire us. Thank you, madam. A special welcome to my co-coordinator, Mrs. Deepa Naik, whose dedication has been instrumental in organizing this program. I warmly welcome all the distinguished participants joining us from various institutions across the country bringing with them a spirit of learning and collaboration whose presence enriches this online faculty development program. I welcome you all. I extend my heartfelt welcome to all the faculty members, staff, and students for their wholehearted support and cooperation. At this graceful juncture, it is my honor and privilege to introduce our distinguished inaugurator, Mrs. Shraddha Amit, whose esteemed presence adds great significance and honor to this occasion. Great leaders inspire not only through their achievements, but through values they carry forward. Today, we are truly honored to have amidst us Mrs. Shraddha Amit, a personification of these very values, whose presence adds grace and inspiration to this occasion. Mrs. Shraddha Amit hails from Dharmasthala and is the daughter of Parama Pujya Dr. D. Virendra Hegde ji and Matrushri Hemavati V. Hegde. Mrs. Shraddha holds a master's degree in psychology from SDM College, Ujre, and has an interest and skills in effective communication and organization. She is the executive director of Kshemavana Naturopathy and Yoga Institute near Nelamangala. She is the pioneer of progressive initiatives aiming at women empowerment through her ideas and activities, reflecting her true spirit in nature. One among many other initiatives is Jnana Vikasa, a YouTube channel she incepted under the guidance of Matrushri Hemavati V. Hegde. Mrs. Shraddha is the director at Siri Gramodyoga Samsthe and director of Jnana Vikasa, Jnana Kendra, Bangalore. Mrs. Shraddha strongly believes in empowering women by nurturing their leadership skills that in the long run becomes crucial for economic productivity. Mrs. Shraddha loves reading, traveling, and has keen interest in observing different cultures and traditions, which she brings back and implements the best of those elements to Dharmasthala for a notable social impact. With this brief introduction, we extend a warmest and the most respectful welcome to you, madam. We are deeply honored by your gracious presence and look forward to your inspiring words as we begin this program. We now move towards the most significant moment of the day, the inauguration of this online faculty development program. It is indeed a matter of great pride and honor to have amongst us our distinguished guest and inaugurator, Mrs. Shraddha Amit, whose presence marks an inspiring beginning to this journey. Madam, may I respectfully invite you to inaugurate the online faculty development program by sharing your valuable inaugural address with us.
Om Shri Manjunathaya Namaha. Am I audible? No, not much. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you're clearly
So
audible.
okay. A very good morning to everyone, and I would like to begin by thanking Dr. Seema Shanai and all the staff at SDM Business Management Center for inviting me and making me a part of this beautiful program today. And I also, it's a very interesting topic. It's a very interesting and a very relevant topic for today's day and age. Because fostering life skills, and especially for women professionals, is the need of the hour. And I'm very glad that our college is taking up this initiative. So I hope that all the participants will greatly benefit from this 6-day workshop. Along with the emphasis on skill enhancement and all the insights on technology research and innovation, I'm very happy that the course is also focusing on essential life skills such as communication, leadership, emotional intelligence, time management, and most importantly on women's physical and mental well-being, because this is a topic that is very rarely discussed. And I hope that this program will be beneficial to everybody who's attending it. The world has opened up opportunities in every field, and so more women are taking an active part in all the different fields that are open to us. while there are a lot of opportunities to fulfill their ambition, there is a lot of education opportunities now. And of course, family support is much higher than in the previous days. Yet, there is a dilemma to excel both at home and at the workplace. Hailing from Mangalore and in the Udupi and Dakshin Kannada districts, we often see that when we get the PUC or the SSLC results, we see that often not only do girls excel and hold the best positions in the examinations, they often surpass the boys in their performance and academic achievement. Yet, when it comes to the jobs and positions and promotions and opportunities in the workplace, there is always a gap. Very often, women are passed over for promotions or jobs that demand a greater responsibility. As it seems that they are focused more on their family life than the work life. The problem is that the world has always been designed from a male perspective. So, in order to fit in, women feel the need to be more aggressive and assertive, and generally they either neglect or push their marriage or childbearing and every other biological factor into the background. In spite of the increasing number of women in the workplace, the number of women in the top positions in their company remain very slow. In fact, only 15% of companies have women in CEO positions, in spite of the fact that women-led companies consistently outperform the rest when it comes to productivity. The world has opened up opportunities in every field. There is no longer any male-centric fields anymore. The women are in every field and every opportunity possible. Yet, when it comes to positions and promotions, women still face a lot of challenges. It also comes from the fact that women are very, very differently oriented than men. I think women work more on intuition, whereas men work on logic and facts. So this gap needs to be bridged, and more opportunities need to be made available for women. The women are often under pressure to prove their worth in the workplace, yet at the same time trying to hold on to their traditional roles as homemakers and mothers, and also there is a lot of demand to keep up the cultural traditional practices that have been passed along through generations. When a woman feels the need to do everything to perfection and stretches herself so thin that she's neglecting her physical, emotional, and psychological well-being, we call it a superwoman syndrome. Women often feel that they shouldn't rest. They are supposed to do everything to perfection. In the race to become the superwoman who's doing it all, she often neglects herself, her health and well-being, often leading to a burnout or not able to manage her health very well. They often push themselves to the point of exhaustion. So we also need to take a break and step back and take a look at replenishing ourselves and focusing on the more important factors in our lives. It is often felt that women don't make good team players when it comes to corporate companies or any other field. Corporate teams prefer more men in their teams, as they feel men can work longer hours and are more focused on their work. So recently, when I saw that there was a new menstrual leave policy that was passed by the government, which mandated a 1 day per month with menstrual leave for women, I thought it was a very welcome initiative by the government, until a friend told me that this would make women even less desirable in the workforce, because this would mean 12 days of paid leave for women. So teams would, or rather companies would feel that I'm supposed to give an employee 12 days of paid leave, which would mean a decrease in my productivity. But very often we forget what women bring to the table. They are hardworking and generous. They are good at collaborating and working as a team, and are more determined to prove their worth in their jobs. So we need to take all these factors into consideration as well. I would like to share some statistics from the Dharmasthala Rural Development Project, because this is one of the areas where we have seen a very steady growth in the number of women employees over the years. And so I would like to point out that in the Rural Development Project, among the 55 lakh members that are part of our self-help groups, almost 47 lakh members are rural women. not only in the Dharmasala Rural Development Project, across the world, whenever there is any initiative, any self-help group initiative, any microfinance initiative, any project that works towards the upliftment of the rural areas, it is mostly focused on women because it is felt that generally women are more dependable and they are more likely to make use of the initiatives and use the money or use the help that is given to them in a proper way to help their families. We've also seen that the number of women who are working in our area. So among the contractual staff, we have almost 40% are women. Among the permanent staff, almost 40% are women, whereas the contractual staff, that is the temporary staff, almost 88% are women. So why is this change over the years? So we have noticed that women coordinators are more efficient at reaching out to members, convincing them of availing the various opportunities available to them, and generally are more empathetic towards the needs of the beneficiaries. They are more in tune with the needs of the rural women, and they often prompt the project towards urgent necessities on the ground, and often they come up with new programs and schemes that would benefit the women around them. The same goes with the women members as well. Many of them are very capable of using the money or using the help that is given to them, often initiating self-employment initiatives that finally become the main source of income for the house. So we've often seen that women are more reliable and focused at using the help that is given to them, and that is why there is a sudden shift, or rather a gradual shift towards using more women beneficiaries than men. There is also a need to redefine the professional presence of the women by challenging outdated and professional standards and introducing a more emphatic and purpose-driven. Instead of long hours of work, we need to focus on prioritizing the impact of the hours that we put in, the collaboration and work-life integration. Instead of a commanding presence, we need natural leaderships that value authenticity and vulnerability. We need to assert our professional presence by embracing our unique voices and strengths, such as emotional intelligence and participation. An extensive professional network, especially with women who are already in strong leadership positions, could enable women to seek out mentorship while also discovering new job opportunities and possibilities for advancement. Skill development in networking can also help in navigating industries, gaining new insights, and establishing a strong presence in professional circles. Financial literacy is also a very important practice and a very important life skill that we can impart to our daughters. It is crucial for achieving economic independence and a long-term financial security and empowering women to make informed decisions about saving, investments, and debt management, while helping them overcome unique challenges such as the gender pay gap, career breaks for caregiving, and also independently starting a project on their own. Again, I would like to give a small example from the AICTE-ATAL project. May not be relevant in the professional fields that we're talking about, but it was something that really touched me at the time, and I would like to share it with everyone. I think many of us would remember that a few years ago, there were massive landslides in Mudigere, and huge areas of the Mudigere and Chikmagalur district had been washed away due to rains. We had visited the area with an intention to provide some help to the people there. We had gone with blankets and some things that we thought would be of help to them. And we met some of the women who were housed in one of the relief camps. And one person that made a great impact on me was this lady who came up to me. She was a daily wager. She was part of the Dharmasala self-help group. And she came up to me, and she, in the past few days, she had not only lost her home, she had lost her livelihood. Like literally, her home had been washed away. The fields where she was working had been washed away, and she was housed in the relief camp. She came to me with a very calm demeanor, and she told me that, "Madam, we are part of the rural development project. We are part of the microfinance project. We we are paying the tokens every month, and we are taking out loans from the project also. But the problem is that because of this disaster, we are not able to repay our loans on time. So all I'm asking you is for a couple of months. And within a couple of months, I'm sure that we can regain our footing and we can go back to repaying our loans. The way she said it to me with a very calm face and the confidence in her voice is what really made me pause and think that this lady, this rural women who had absolutely no education qualifications of any sort, had achieved the kind of financial understanding and stability that most of us would strive for all our lives. She was very confident of her future, how she needs to take a step into the future. She was confident of the savings she had in her bank. She was confident. She had already planned her future financial step that she needs to take. And all she was asking was for a break for a couple of months. I think this is the kind of financial literacy or the financial confidence that we need in our lives. The legacy of women leaders must also be one of breaking barriers, inspiring change, and reshaping societies by bringing diverse perspectives to governance, science, culture, and business. Modern icons like Indra Nooyi, the first woman of color and the first immigrant to head a Fortune 500 company like PepsiCo, or Jacinta Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, the second leader in the world to give birth while in office, but yet she proved to be one of the most efficient leaders. They have paved the way for gender equality and demonstrating transformative, inclusive leadership that takes systemic challenges. Their enduring impact lies in empowering future generations and proving that leadership transcends traditional norms. So I would like to mention a few incidents from the book that Mrs. Indra Nooyi has written, My Life in Full. So she was the first woman of color to head a Fortune 500 company, a rare CEO in the world of male-oriented companies. And she writes about all the contradictions that existed in her life as a child who was growing up. She would say that her mother would, at the same time, urge her to and her sisters to imagine themselves to be the prime minister of the country and give a speech if she was ever made the prime minister of the country. At the same time, her mother also wanted her to get married and settled at 19 because she felt that unless her daughter was married, she would not live a fulfilling life. So this is the kind of contradiction, she says, exists in the life of every woman. She says the day that she was appointed the president of PepsiCo, she was very excited to tell her family. She drives home at 10 in the night, walks into the kitchen and tells her mother, and her mother says, I have very exciting news to share. And her mother says, but we've run out of milk. I want you to go out and get some milk. She goes out, gets the milk, and tells her mother, I had something very important to share, and you did not listen to me. And the mother says, you may be the president of PepsiCo, but at home you are a wife and a mother. So you better learn to leave your crown in the garage. So that is what is expected of most of us women, that we have to leave our achievements at the doorstep before we walk into the house. But she also writes about how, as a rare female CEO in a male-dominated world, and her perspectives as a wife and a mother helped change the face of PepsiCo from a junk food company, seen as a junk food company, into something that was more sustainable and healthy, and overall changing the image of a company to one where customers could make uniform choices about what they were buying. So she also focused on retaining talent at the company and introduced programs that would help women to rejoin the workforce after a long leave. So whenever we are given an opportunity or a position of power, we should leave behind the legacy of inclusivity and upliftment. When women leaders share their unique challenges, they encourage future generations. I'm very glad that the 6-day workshop also focuses on women's physical and mental well-being. Hormonal health in women is not a single condition, but it's a continuum from menstruation through reproductive years, pregnancy, premenopause, and menopause. Rapid changes in lifestyle, chronic stress, sleep deprivation, and many other factors have now created a lot of problems that are specific to women. We often see our children showing early signs of puberty, increased cases of PCOS and PCOD, and we've seen infertility clinics just mushrooming across the cities. Lack of proper nutrition and exercise has led to an obesity epidemic. So, better awareness, diagnostic criteria, and proper guidance is very crucial for women's health. I'm very glad to know that this workshop also focuses on the integration of body, mind, and spirit in professional life. From cancer screening to dance therapy to Ayurvedic wisdom to stress management, each session acknowledges that our greatest professional asset will always be our well being. Professional excellence demands energy, clarity, and resilience, all that is impossible without physical health and emotional well being. We often see at Shemavana women who come to find solutions for their physical problems, not aware that these physical problems are just manifestations of underlying health issues. So we often see women who come with obesity or facial hair or there are spots that are breaking out or delayed periods. There are a lot of other health issues and they want quick fixes for the physical manifestations, not realizing that there are a lot of underlying mental and health issues that are causing these problems. So there's a very, very urgent need for women to take a step back and reevaluate what is going on in their lives and what are causing these problems. So companies today are not just looking for people with strong technical skills, but they are also looking for those who can think wisely and who can communicate with empathy. Workplaces are changing fast with the use of AI technology. So, what is actually required in the workplace is that of workers who have emotional strength and the ability to connect with others. At the end of the day, empathy, emotional skills, and the ability to connect on a human level, I feel, are the core leadership skills that are required at every place. I would like to conclude by congratulating Dr. Seema Shanai and her team at the SDM PG Center for organizing this program. And I wish all the participants all the very best. And I hope that you would benefit from all the sessions. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Madam, for your delightfully clear address with our STM's very own examples from STDP and Shemavana. I think you have very meaningfully paved the way for inaugurating our faculty development program. Thank you so much for joining us. I also thank all the participants for their overwhelming response in joining our 6-day faculty development program. Wishing the program a grand success. And once again, I extend a heartfelt thank you to Mrs. Shraddha Amit Madam for her very, very meaningful inaugural address. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
As we gracefully draw our inaugural session to a close, I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all those who have made this event meaningful and inspiring. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed inaugurator, Mrs. Shraddha Amit, for graciously inaugurating the program and for her inspiring presence, which has truly set a meaningful tone for this online faculty development program. Thank you, Madam. I express my sincere thanks to our respected director, Dr. Seema Shenoy, for her constant guidance, encouragement, and support. I also extend my special thanks to my co-coordinator, Mrs. Deepa Nayak P, for her cooperation and tireless efforts in coordinating this FTP. My heartfelt thanks goes to all the participants of the FTP who have joined us from various institutions for their enthusiastic participation and commitment to learning. I extend a sincere gratitude to all the invitees, faculty members, staff, students for their valuable support. Participants, kindly note, we will now commence with our first session shortly. I welcome once again all the participants for the first session on mental and physical well-being among women who focus on being truly healthy. It's my privilege to introduce our distinguished resource person for the first session, Dr. Supriya Hegde Aro, a renowned psychiatrist and an inspiring educator. She is currently a professor and head of Department of Psychiatry at Father Mullah Medical College and serves as a consultant psychiatrist at Fallir Mind Care Center and Arogya Polyclinic, Mangaluru. Dr. Supriya holds an MBBS from KMC Manipal and an MD in psychiatry from KMC Manipal in the year 2005, where she was awarded the gold medal for the academic excellence. She has been honored with multiple accolades, including D.S. Raju Award for Best Paper Presentation in the year 2003, the Good Teacher Award in the year 2012, S.S. Jairam Award in the year 2012, and Lady Lion Award 2021. Notably, she has been featured in Outlook magazine as one of the best psychiatrists in Karnataka for 2 consecutive years in the year 2024 and 2025. Her areas of expertise include child, adolescent, and women's mental health with a special focus on stress management. Madam has published her research papers in various national and international journals. We are truly privileged to have her with us today. We look forward to gaining a valuable insight from her knowledge and experience. Over to you, Madam.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Madam.
Am I audible on this?
Yes, Madam.
So, at the onset, I would like to thank the organizers, STM College of Business Management Postgraduate Center for Management Studies and Research, Mangaluru, for this online faculty development program. So, my job here is to sensitize the audience on mental and physical well being, especially in women, and what it means to be truly healthy. Because of the internet glitch at this side, I am joining on phone. So I'll request ma'am to please share my slides. Can you go to the first slide, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
So being a woman itself is synonymous being doing multitasking. And if you are a professional, it becomes even more complicated because you have to perform in your professional arena and also run your home with the same amount of enthusiasm. So getting your physical and mental health ignored can become a possibility. So what one needs to do is we need to understand how to keep our mental and physical well-being intact. So the first question is what people ask me is, what do you mean by being mentally well? It's not simple to answer that question. Being mentally well involves us to be calm, involves us to be relaxed. It also involves us to be, alert and mindful of all the things that happen around us. We should be able to think clearly and also be able to handle challenges. All of this comprises being mentally well. So there is no single definition of being mentally well. Next slide. And what is physical health? Physical well-being, where we are able to accomplish all our daily activities without undue fatigue, without undue physical stress, and we feel free of physical ailment, no bodily distress, and we have good immunity. If people around us are also falling sick, it's not that we get their illness immediately. We are able to guard our body against common illnesses. Next slide. This slide is actually a no-brainer. So my question to the audience is, are physical and mental well-being related? What does the audience feel? Correct. So everybody is saying yes, and thank you for being active and listening. Yes, physical and mental well-being are related. We can't separate them really. Thank you. Next slide. So this is where we have to distinguish between being well and being ill. So if there is a mental illness, the person will have problems in his thinking, in his mood, in his behavior. And it becomes an illness only and only if it starts affecting your socio-occupational function. And the duration is long and the severity is severe. So, mood swings or, just occasional sadness, on and off anxiety does not comprise mental illness. And this is very important to distinguish. Next slide. So when somebody is mentally ill, they have problems in cognition. By cognition, we mean thinking. They are not able to think clear. They have also problem in emotion, where their mood changes become difficult for them to handle. Then they have problem in perception. The perception may be the ability to feel. So they may have disorders in the way they see things, the way they hear, and of course, changes in behavior. So people who are mentally ill can become difficult in terms of their behavioral control. Next slide. Here, this is the most important thing as a doctor, which I tell everybody, having some mood symptoms, having some anxiety symptoms does not make you somebody who has mental illness. It has to disrupt socio-occupational function. It has to come in way of your functioning. It has to come in your way of your, the way you carry on with your life. Next slide. Earlier, the psychiatric illnesses were divided into neurosis and psychosis. Now it has changed, but keeping in term the old terminology, they used to say anxiety neurosis, which meant that either the person is sad or anxious. Next slide. And these are the most severe psychiatric illnesses, the ones that patients have false belief, abnormal perceptions, disorganized speech, very poor self-care. All of these comprise of symptoms of psychosis. Next slide. So when we talk about health, we also talk about illness. And why do mental illnesses occur? So all illnesses, actually, you can generalize, can happen because of various things. One could be genetics. So they say the genetic loads the gun and environment pulls the trigger. So genetic risk factors for mental illnesses do occur. Then comes substances of abuse. So patients who use drugs, they can be more prone to mental illness. And of course, there are stressors, things which are unsurmountable, which come one after the other, can cause mental illness. Uncontrolled physical illnesses also can cause mental illness. And certain medications, like certain anti-cancer drugs, can cause psychiatric problems. And certain personality disorders, some people who tend to think only negative, they can also be prone to mental illness. So we look at the biopsychosocial model, in which there's a biological antecedent and there's a psychological stressor, and then there is a social milieu, all get together and cause mental illness. Next slide. So before we move to, how to improve our mental and physical health, we need to be aware of a fact check, kind of list. So we'll go to the myths and the facts about mental illness. Next slide. So there is a perception among certain people that mental illnesses are rare. Do you think so? Does the audience correct? So mental illnesses are not rare, very common. Like you say, they can say that 1 in 5 people, have mental illness. It's really surprising that in spite of having such a staggering number of people who have mental illness, people are still stigmatizing it. It's really sad. Today, I saw a patient in the wards, she wanted to get discharged because the family does not believe in treatment for depression. She is highly suicidal. She may hurt herself. But they're saying that this is not an illness. You will get better with rest. So mental illnesses are very common. And in spite of being common, there is a certain amount of barrier to seek help for it. And that's really sad. Next slide. Another perception is that it affects only weak individuals. Why don't you, become strong? Why do you take everything to your heart? Is that true? Do you think weak individuals fall mentally ill or have mental illness? But Prerna and Nidhi and everybody agree that it's correct. It's not true that weak individuals have mental ill. So everybody concurs that it is not being weak that causes the illness. In fact, everybody can be prone. Each and everybody. Nobody is immune. Even doctors have mental illness. So no social economic status, no gender, no age, no education status, no income status is immune from mental illness. Next slide. Another perception is that if you are mentally ill, you will be mentally ill for life. See, certain illnesses like bipolar disorder are for life. Schizophrenia is for life. Dementia could be for life, especially if it's the irreversible form of dementia. But other illnesses like anxiety, like depression, they are not for life. They can be cured. People can go into complete remission. And that is why this myth needs to be busted. Next slide. Another thing is magical religious demonic causation of mental illness. Today I had a patient in the ward who had a dissociative episode. She's unable to talk. She feels that somebody is holding her throat. And the family perceives it to be some jinn. And they want to take her to a tangal. That is a magical religious faith healer. So what did I tell? What did I tell the family? Did I tell them not to go to the tangal? What do you think I told them? Did I tell them not to believe in their religious beliefs? Yes. So Prerna says she will require some counseling. She was consulting me, so I am the psychiatrist. So, in spite of that, can we go back to the previous slide, the myth 4, please? Yeah. So in spite of me, being the psychiatrist, telling her that it is because of her exam stress, she's a second PU student, she's unable to cope, she has high expectations of herself, but if they still want to go to the temple, I will not say no, because, everybody's belief needs to be respected. But at the same time, I will drive my, biological agenda and tell them that she requires treatment. So even if you go for the magical religious treatment, please do not abandon psychiatric medications. Do not forget to come for your counseling sessions, because that is also important in healing her. So go with the religious beliefs, but do not let scientific approach go in the process. Next slide. So this is something which, I feel really sad about, when in the media they portray mentally ill being dangerous or, disheveled and causing problem to the society. So most of the mentally ill people are very silent and to themselves. Only when they are provoked do they get angry. So sometimes bad portrayal by media also, worsens the stigma that is already present against mental illness. Next slide. So initially, mentally ill people were considered very dangerous and people used to lock them in institutions far away from society. But of late, what we try to treat them, we try to reintegrate them into the society. We try to see whether they can go back to earning a livelihood. And it is possible with the amazing medicines that we have nowadays and the psychosocial interventions which can be done alongside. This is possible. Next slide. So, do you think mentally ill are dull and not fit for any occupation? Do you believe that? So Shivangi, Maya, everybody is saying no. They can improve, they can work. So it's true. So if you're able to reintegrate them into society, they can
find something useful and productive to do. But if they are having very low IQ, like they are intellectually disabled, then maybe they will have to be given more, less mentally, cognitively challenging roles. Next slide. So this is one question as a psychiatrist I get asked, because you've been practicing for 20 years, are you slowly cracking up yourself? So I don't think so. So mental illnesses are not contagious like a common cold. And working with mentally ill actually helps to improve your mental health, because you realize, how difficult it is for them. And then with that empathy, you're able to, take preventive measures and look after your mental health as well. So in a couple of slides, we'll go to how to improve physical and mental health. But before that, suppose you find anybody who has mental illness symptoms, what you need to do is what we need to discuss. Next slide. So if you come to know of somebody who has a mental illness, you need to talk to that person, establish good communication with the person and the caregiver. Help them, like Deepa says, with the professional counseling. Build a rapport. Use considerate language. And refer to a mental health professional. Usually a psychiatrist heads the team because we are the ones who do the diagnostic work. And after that, we refer to a psychologist, which helps. So educating the family about why the illnesses occur helps. Many times, in spite of education, they do carry their own baggages and prejudices about mental illness. But we need to tell them that this is why it occurs. This is what the treatment will be like. This is how long the treatment will be given, so that we become advocates for good mental health care. Next slide. The things definitely not to do is to label them, stigmatize them, give wrong ideas about medication, trying to calm them when they are very provoked, or fighting with them or punishing them. All of this can backfire. Next slide. Also, not to laugh, not to ridicule, not to judge, not to reinforce false stigmatizing beliefs, and not to give incorrect advice. So if you don't know something, say that you'll find out and come back, rather than giving the wrong advice. Next slide. So sometimes we recognize people with mental illness, but we just let them be. That's not the correct thing to do. It's a highly disabling illness. If we don't refer, maybe they will get suicidal. Maybe they will lose productivity. They'll lose quality of life. The illness can become chronic, which takes more time to treat. It can become more severe, which makes it more cumbersome to treat. So if you identify early and you refer early, the outcome is excellent. So referring early is very important. Next slide. So from here, the tone of the talk changes. So now we are going to concentrate on how actually to help our physical and mental health. Next slide. So I want some ideas from the audience. What do you think? How do we improve our good physical and mental health? Do you think it's a very difficult thing? Do you think it's like really challenging, tough, impossible to do? What do you feel? Nidhi says daily yoga. Proper diet, Lata. Meditation, self-awareness, a lot of things are being typed. I'm so glad you're active and listening. Lifestyle, good music playlist. Definitely when you are in traffic, it's required. Exercise, diet, proper sleep, positive attitude. Communication. A lot of good things are coming up actually on the chat. So let's go to the next slide and see. So my question to the audience is, why is sleep important? Why do we need to sleep? Why can't we just keep working or keep enjoying ourselves, keep watching Netflix? Why do we need to sleep? Sleep is restorative. Okay. So without sleep, no one can survive. After a few days of sleep deprivation, body goes in a emergency mode and can stop functioning altogether. So sleep is very restorative and one of the most restorative things that the body can have. Second question, how many hours is ideal? How long do you need to sleep? Yeah. It's different for everybody. See, for me, I need around 7 hours of sleep. Without 7 hours, next day I am a little groggy. My attention span is less. Some people manage with 5. Some people need up to 8. But if you sleep more than 10 hours, then definitely there is something wrong. If you're sleeping less than 4 hours, it may not be good for your physical health, like cardiovascular health and things like that. So 6 to 8 hours of sleep is ideal. So what are the harm? What are the harms of sleep deprivation? If you're not sleeping well, what happens? So there could be lack of concentration, irritation, can't think clearly, can get mentally ill too, excellent, fatigue, low confidence. All is true. You feel exhausted, you feel irritated, you can have physical illness, you can have acidity, so many things. One question that was asked is, how do we know how many hours is ideal for us? So if you're sleeping, the day you sleep and get up and you feel refreshed, that is the hours that is ideal. So you sleep a certain hours and you feel fatigued during the day, or you feel that, I can't concentrate, I need rest, then maybe you slept a little less. Sometimes when you feel too lethargic and you feel, like your brain is like all fogged up and you slept too much, maybe you slept a little bit more. So ideally, you would figure, how many hours is ideal for you. Next slide. Good nutrition. So there's so much talk on nutrition these days. It's staggering, if you look at the social media, it's like bombarded with a lot of health advice regarding food. There are so many dietitians online who give you good advice. So what do you understand by a healthy, wholesome diet? What do you mean by that? Homemade food, correct. What else? Right mix of all nutrients. So nowadays, everybody's talking about having more protein in our diet. But I would say a balanced diet would comprise of adequate carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and enough for minerals. So if we eat our typical homemade food, with enough veggies and fish, I think we should be getting there. What do you understand by superfoods? What are superfoods? What do you understand by superfoods? Anyone? Superfoods are, packed with nutrients, like nuts, like, whole grains. So these are good things to have, And what are the foods to avoid? What are the foods that you should not have? High carbs, fat, fried, things which are oily, things which are unhealthy, sugary drinks, a lot of all these items which are high on simple sugars, packaged juices, all of that can be avoided, and you can shift to whole fruits instead, or whole grains. Those would be better. Next slide. So in women, how is substance abuse? Is it on an upward trend, or do you think it's on a downward trend? So there's a lot of substance abuse in women now. Women, as they're getting more and more financially independent and they're going out, many of them are casually taking substances for recreational purpose. But in women, unfortunately, the trends are dangerous because women are more susceptible to develop dependence. They are very susceptible to develop dependence. There's something called as telescoping, in women, where if they start using substances, very soon they become addicted to them. Also, the harms of abusing substances is more in women. So liver damage can happen faster in women than it happens with men with the same amount of alcohol consumed. So somehow women's body does not take substances well. Very dangerous to take substances on regular basis and very easy to get addicted. So women need to be extra cautious when experimenting with substance abuse. Next slide. Nowadays, everybody exercises is what I think. Because whoever I go to, whatever talk I attend, when I ask them, "How do you exercise?" most of the hands do go up. Is it true? Do you all exercise? Yeah. No. Yes. So I'm just trying to count how many yeses and how many nos. Quite a few yeses and a few nos. Not every day. No. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I would say it's maybe, people do try to exercise. Some of them are not regular. Some of them try to do it at least, half the days in a week. So how does exercise help? How does exercise help? What happens if I don't exercise? And what happens when I do? Audience? So when I exercise, it refreshes my mind, it uplifts my mood, it improves the blood circulation to my brain, it improves the way my muscles stand, it improves the way the clothes fit on me. It improves my self-confidence because I can stand tall and still walk with a confidence in my stride. So all of that exercise does. And how much is ideal? Should I exercise 5 hours in one day? How much is ideal? So ideally would be 45 minutes to 1 hour, 5 days a week, at least. But should not go beyond that. If you go like 3 hours of exercise, unless you are training to be an Olympic champion, I think you should go easy because you have other things to do and a lot of things to balance. But if you're a sedentary person like me, who sees most of the patients sitting and the ward rounds is only a certain time of the day, then it's important that for every half an hour of sitting, at least you have some 5 to 10 minutes of walk time. So sit half an hour and walk a little because it's important to move your body to keep all your muscles. Stretching exercises are very important for women and weight training. Yeah. So women generally after menopause, we are more prone to fractures. Okay, our bones will lose all of that. If our muscles are strong, they'll support our joints. Women are more prone to osteoarthritis are strong. They'll support my targets. Origami is a hobby. Hobby is recreation, yes. So hobby is something which I like to do in my free time. So there is a recreational angle to hobby and there is a creative angle to hobby. So not only does hobby improve your quality of life, it improves creativity and fresh thinking. Doing the same mundane job every day is not a very good thing. So having a hobby which is slightly offbeat will make you a more holistic person. So having a hobby is a good thing for your mental and physical health. Next slide. Mastering a calming technique. So everybody has a calming technique. So what is your calming technique? Audience? music, meditation. I'm reading from the chat box. Meditation. Sleep is a calming technique. Deep breaths, self-reflection, mindfulness, home chanting, walking, dancing, music. So everybody knows what calms them. We know it. But if you are in a busy day to day, your work, simply just, taking deep, slow breaths will calm you down. Music and dancing. Maybe you require a special place and time to do it. Maybe you'll have to do it at home. But breathing exercises is something which you can do at any time. There's abdominal breathing that you can look up. There's something called as box breathing that you can look up, which even if you do it for 5 to 10 minutes, it will really calm you. So mastering a calming technique and to be done casually, not just when you are stressed, is the way forward for good mental and physical health. Next slide. Sharpening skills. So you are in different technical fields. You teach different subjects. You are good at different jobs. But to be able to grow, to be able to advance, you need to sharpen your skills. That improves your mental and physical health. Because when you learn something new, it gives you a dopamine boost. Your brain says, well done, you learned something new. That is also important for your mental and physical health. Next slide. Learning memory boosting techniques. Does any of you feel that your memory is rusty? Yes, yes, yes. Sometimes, and yes. So, why do we get this feeling that we are rusty? See, until about 25 years, brain is in an anabolic state. After that, some of the brain cells degenerate slowly. But due to various reasons, we may be not using our brain capacity to the fullest. So some people, they feel that they are too much on the gadgets, they depend on AI, they've stopped making their own slides, and they are rusting. Some people feel that they don't connect with others, there's no human contact, everybody's like glued to their phones. There's absolutely no, connectivity in terms of, one-to-one human interaction, and hence memory is not, is slowly fading. Some people feel so anxious and so preoccupied that they're not able to register new information, and hence they feel their memory is like somebody mentioned in the chat box. If you don't treat hypothyroidism, obviously, that can cause cognitive slowing. So what kind of memory techniques are we talking about here? What can we do to improve our memory? Grandmother would say have 5 badam daily. Or the new dietitians would say you have maybe some walnuts daily. Mindfulness. So, and it says mindfulness. So by mindfulness, you need to be in the moment. Like right now, you're listening to this lecture, try to give it your 100%. Don't be distracted by other things, what's happening in the background. Somebody said number game. Somebody said Sudoku, crossword puzzles. Even simple thing, like going for a brisk walk will improve your memory. Taking a different road to work will help. Learning a new musical instrument, learning a new language, few sentences of a new language will improve your memory. Using both your hands to do a task will improve the functioning of both sides of your brain, it will help connectivity, will help memory. There are so many things. Next slide. So another way to improve your physical and mental health is try to think positive. So all of us tell others, be positive, be positive. But we give ourselves a lot of negative feedback throughout the day. Oh, the roads are so bad. Oh, this winter has set in, my skin is cracking up. Oh, I'm late for work again. Oh, how much work I have to do today. Oh, it's going to be a tough day. I have got tough things. So we say a lot of negative things to ourselves without realizing. So, how do we think positive? So, what does the audience do to think positive? What do we do? So we need to catch our negative attitude. We need to be chill. We need to judge less. Tell positive, say, give yourself good feedback. You know, be your own cheerleader. Hmm? Try to find positive in everything. Everything. Next slide. So cultivating the right attitude helps you in life. In fact, you can look around you. There are people who are always smiling, who are always trying to troubleshoot issues. And there are other people who are always grumbling. And you will see that the ones who are trying to troubleshoot, who are trying to, get out of the problem by keeping their brains active and mentally challenging themselves to do newer things to get out of the issue, are more successful than the ones who are always complaining. So, looking at that, it is important to cultivate an attitude which helps you put your foot forward. Next slide. So what I see in this is, Gen Z and all that, is that they want other people to, they always feel undervalued. They feel that nobody really understands them. Nobody really appreciates. But do you think anybody really appreciates anybody else? Do you think that it's so easy to get, genuine appreciation? Do you think people do that for anybody? I mean, people don't do that. Even when, like, suppose you're the head of department, you need to get things going. So you appreciate people, you thank them, okay. But most of the times, what you would see is, if you really want to succeed, you have to motivate yourselves. The fuel has to come from within. It will not come because somebody said good things to you that you climbed up the ladder. No, no, no. It has to be you. You have to fuel your ambition. You have to push yourself. You have to appreciate yourself. Because if you love yourself, then even other things follow. So you need to work on your confidence. And other people saying that is not going to change. Next slide. This is what I was saying. The push will be from yourself. You will have to push yourself to come up. Nobody's going to do that for you. When you were young, your parents tried. And your spouse may do a little bit. Your children might help you. Your friends will be there to support you. But nothing like what you can do to yourself to come up. So if you are motivated, you will do it. Be your own cheerleader. Next slide. Another thing is, even though you're ambitious and you're a go-getter, but don't overdo anything. Because you should be the lambi race ka ghoda. You should not, burn yourself on, burn the candle on both ends and have a, burnout. That should not be done. At the same time, you cannot be a couch potato. So you have to be like Buddha. Take the middle path. Middle path is probably the best way forward. Next slide. Somebody always, earlier also spoke about mindfulness, to be in the moment. So it's easier said than done. Okay, there are so many distractions these days. But being mindful, being aware of where you are, what you're doing at the moment, will make your life much more calmer and much more productive. Next slide. Next is to be a little less focused on materialistic things. She has a better dress. He has a better car. They live in a better house. They go for better holidays. Come on. Don't run after materialistic things. Whatever you have in life is good enough for you. If you want something better, work for it. But try not to go after materialistic things. Look for other things. Look for success. Look for, something which gives you peace of mind. Look something which at the end of the day helps you sleep better. Next slide. Can somebody tell me what is this slide about? What do you mean by being persistent and never giving up? Keep trying. Be constant. Be consistent. Trusting ourselves. I'm reading from the chat box. Try, but don't cry. Trust in ourselves. So there's a concept called as being resilient. Do you know what is being resilient? What do you mean by resilience? Yeah. Being resilient is to not to give up, to be steady in the face of challenge. Even when life is not fair, not to give up. Be there, face it. Resilience does not need you to do some heroic things, but just being there and carrying on with your duties in difficult times is also resilience. And that is one thing which will really help you to move forward in life. Next slide. So, is it good to be competitive? Very tricky question. Is it good to be competitive? Yes. Healthy competition is good. Yes. Yeah. So the audience agrees, when I say that, it is good to be competitive. When we have healthy competition, it is good for us because it helps us to be at the top of our game. If you don't have competition, you'll slack. But if you have competition, you will always be alert. You'll always read up. You'll always show up. And that is what will help you progress. If you don't have competition, slack. So thank all the people whom you compete with because they help you get better. Next slide. This is something which you should do for good sleep. Don't carry the anger, the hatred to your pet. Let it go. Because ultimately, when you are sleeping, you should be peaceful. If you're trying to remember all the people who hurt you during the day while sleeping, it's really bad for your physical and mental health. You will suffer. So let it go. Next slide. So people already spoke about, practicing positive affirmations, saying things. Affirmations are things which help you to feel calm, which help you to feel confident, which help you to feel resilient. So these are just few statements which you can write down depending on how you're feeling, which helps you with your day. It could be that I'm fearless, I'm calm, I can do it, I'm meant to do this, this is meant for me, I can do it. These are things which help you to. So holding a gadget in my hand and breaking free from the gadget trap is the biggest irony of times. If not for gadgets, we wouldn't be connecting with each other. But if we are trapped in this gadget world, life is going to be very difficult. So how do you break free from the gadget trap? Has it ever happened to you that you are scrolling on reels and you don't know how the 2 hours just passed? Has it ever happened to you? Yes, it has happened to me. I was scrolling some Insta reels and I realized half an hour just went by. I was shocked. So what do you do? How do you break free? Somebody said put it in the locker. Then fix a schedule. So you limit your gadget time. Set a timer. monitor your screen time. There are some apps which track screen time. Self-control. Most importantly, try to do something which is more interesting. Incorporate exercise into the routine. Incorporate, some time talking to your friends, catching up with people, just talking, just being there. Get some nature time. Don't look at your gadget. And even when you go to nature time, don't click photographs. Come on. So breaking free from gadget will help. First is to understand how many hours I'm using. Second is, do I think is it excessive? Third is, what can I do other than using my gadget? And fourth is, when I do that, I should be able to appreciate myself because nobody else is going to do that for me. So all of that needs to be done for us to break free from the gadget trap. There's something called as a digital detox, especially at dinner table and all. Please don't get your phone. It's not correct. So we are almost coming to the end of the presentation. There's a lot of time for questions. So my next slide will be on what is your take-home message. So I would like each participant to, actually, if it's possible to unmute and talk, that would be great. So what was your take-home message? Can I hear any voice? I've been seeing all messages. Is it possible for the audience to speak? Can somebody help them unmute so that they can talk? It would be nice.
Yes, ma'am, we are doing it.
Yeah. So,
Good morning, ma'am.
morning.
Good morning, Dr. Supriya Arur. I'm really glad that this kind of a very important, you can say, subject has been highlighted by the college as well in Mangaluru, and they have called a very distinguished speaker like you. And it was pleasure listening to you, ma'am, first of all. So I'm really grateful
you,
for
ma'am.
listening to you. Ma'am, what I follow is, as you rightly said, that self motivation is everything. And I had been following it for a very long time now. So I do not look for any, what to say, external stimulants to motivate me or to boost my morale or anything. I keep doing things. And there are certain, I would say, certain disciplines which I follow, not too many, but certain disciplines where there is no compromise on that. For example, that my mobile usage is only restricted to the necessity. Beyond that, it is not with me. I just keep it somewhere and it is away from me and I'm engrossed in my work. So as you rightly said, that mindfulness, like being in the moment, is very, very important. Do not think much about the past. Do not be anxious about your future and just be in the moment and try and do one thing at a time, which is not really 100% possible, but try and do it because we all are women and we are always doing multiple things at a time, so we can do that. And ma'am, the biggest thing is being grateful about things what we have,
That's true.
like never compare yourself with anyone else. And I'm really proud, I would say, by sharing this with you all, that it never comes to my mind, that how much the other person is going ahead, or how much that person is earning, or what all that person has achieved. I feel my competition is with my own self. How I was yesterday, I need to be better tomorrow. So that is the only thing I concentrate on, and I try and what you say, graph my own path and how
I'm
I
so
can
glad
succeed.
that you shared your experience, ma'am, how you're self-motivated and you don't compare with others. And, it's excellent that you're able to, be on your path to success at the same time, not get influenced by other people's achievements. Kudos to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So my, I would say a message to everyone is, we all are women and we all are doing great things in our own lives, and nobody, even I feel not even God can thank us enough the way we handle things. So absolutely do not expect anything from anyone, and just keep doing your work by without compromising your own self. Do not lose yourself en route. Give yourself also equal priority as you're giving it to others, because if you're good, if you are better mentally, physically, then only you're going to deliver the same thing. So without compromising on your mental physical health, keep doing the good work, and we all are doing great jobs. So as you rightly said, ma'am, we have to be self motivated, and it is not very difficult. Once you are away from all the distractions and the negative people and the gossip and everything, and you are focused on what you have to do, everything is achievable. This is I'm sharing with my practical experience. I may be wrong, ma'am. You can correct me wherever
No,
I must
what
have
you're saying is
gone wrong.
100% true. So each one has a different way of handling their life, but yours seems to be very good, ma'am, and it's helping you do well. So keep it up.
And any suggestions also from audience and as well as from you. I feel, ma'am, one should be a lifelong learner. And if that attitude is also in place, that also helps a lot.
Sure. Hmm? All the best, ma'am. All the best to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Same to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience?
Hello, ma'am.
Anybody wants to share? Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Can I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, myself, Dr. Karuna Jadhav from Pune, Maharashtra.
Yes,
Let me thanks the organizer for having such a nice topic for a female faculty. Thank you so much, Supriya ma'am. Throughout your session, you have focused many area, and it is which I feel which is very important for any female, whether it's a working or a homemaker, especially the physical and the mental well-being. So these are certain things which you share. I think we most female are aware about this. Uh, in our daily life, what we are doing, we are giving priority to others, not to yourself. We forget a me time also. You focus on many area where you are given key for mental wellness. When we was giving you the options in the chat, you might seen that many participants have given the right answer also. Might be they are practicing also, but being the female and the in education sector, what I feel, we are into such a nice sector. Only the why we are not getting the result, the consistency. That's where we fail. We know for every alternative for well-being, what exactly the right plate to be throughout, because we are cooking and we know everything. Failure comes only because of there is no consistency. So if you work on that, I feel what you have given throughout this particular session, I take home the message. If we follow the consistency for ourselves and in the like everyone in your aura, definitely we will help the yourself, your family, and the society to have the healthy physically and mindfulness. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your
focusing on many areas.
Hello,
ma'am. This is Dr. Vidya from Maharashtra, Kolhapur. Ma'am, I am very, very fortunate to be a part of this session because recently I was facing a bit of stress issues due to my workplace pressure as well as some challenges at my home. And this is the right time I could listen to your session, and your session is one of the best thing I could ever have, ma'am. And the take home message that I feel is to be positive and focused, at the same time being mindful and understand what is required, practically what is possible, and not be too over ambitious. Second thing is accept the way we are and practice gratitude. That is another take home message I feel, and to be a better version of ourselves. So not to, try to fit ourselves in a particular kind of a frame, but accepting what we are and trying to be better as we go ahead in our life. And trying to prove ourselves not at the stake of our physical or mental health, but to give ourselves that time so that we can really be a healthy and a very happy person. So that is what I think, ma'am, and I'm really happy to be part of this session. Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, Dr. Supriya, ma'am. Hello,
morning.
audible?
Good-
Ma'am, it is your voice, your composure made me to connect throughout the session, which I take it as a take-home message, because I believe that the words we speak carry some frequency and energy. So positivity, which you talked about and which my co-participants talked about, comes from the moment we start speaking. That's what is my biggest take-home message.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other audience would like to comment about the take-home message? Anybody wants to say something?
Hello, Supriya ma'am. It was wonderful listening to you. My take home that I'm going to take home today from your session is to be calm and be determined, because as you mentioned, sometimes we women, we are inbuilt with that particular skill of being determined. Somehow, because of the various things that we face in our lives since our childhood, we somehow know that we have to tackle it and we have to face it. And your messages added more fuel to my thoughts, ma'am. So thank you so much. It was really wonderful listening to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else wants to contribute, wants to share?
I think the most important point, ma'am, you covered it is forgiveness, and rather than focus on your work to uplift yourselves rather than looking or comparing the others. That was the best part, I think. And you yourself are the person who is going to help to yourself first. So you have to be first, and I think that tagline was the utmost catchy, that yeah, change your attitude, not your aptitude to raise your altitude. I think very short and sweet things you cover up, ma'am. Thanks, and heads off to you. You are changing the lives of so many women.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being so kind with your words. Thank you. I would like the organizers also to please, you can give your inputs regarding the take-home message. How do you think that, things could, we could work towards further upliftment of physical and mental health? If there's anything that needs to be covered more, anything that we missed discussing, this would be the right time to talk about it.
Hello.
Hello, Deepa ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Pleasure listening to you.
Thank you.
We always believe that we have had enough knowledge on mental health and especially students' mental health. But every time is a revelation. Every time we feel, okay, there's more to this. I have a question, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Generally, students portray a lot of anxiety these days, and we somehow feel at times it's difficult to make the differentiation if it is something to do with mental illness or it's just normal anxiety and fear. How do we differentiate this?
Yes, ma'am. So, like, what happens in normal anxiety is it's situational and it's temporary. So, if suppose a student has done badly in the exam, that day he or she will be very anxious or very tensed. Or suppose they've had a breakup, then for a couple of weeks they may be down. But if it is so severe that they are not able to function, so severe that they're not able to sleep, so severe that they are throwing up, or they're having a panic attack and hyperventilating, or so stretched out that for weeks together they look down and they're not able to cope, then it becomes a disorder. So the severity and the duration and the way it affects the socio-occupational functioning distinguishes a normal anxiety does not require medical attention from a syndromal anxiety which requires a ref.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, please can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Ma'am, my son is 10 years old and for the last 6 months he's facing anger issues that he's not able to control his anger. He keeps on fussing about small things, and the school teachers even they say that whenever we scold him, he immediately starts crying. So and even at home he has this kind of an issue. So how can I tackle
He's
that?
in 4th grade, ma'am.
Please can you help me? Yes, ma'am.
How was his birth and development? Was he milestones, talking, walking,
Yes,
everything
ma'am.
in
He
time?
was normal. Yes, everything was in time.
Any change in the school, any change in the house, any change in the structure of the family, in the locality, any changes?
We have shifted. Actually, it's been 1 year that we have shifted from Pune to Kolhapur. And the school is the same. From first grade onwards, he's studying the same school. But in between, he has a screen time. So he actually has a lot of issues that we should allow him to watch the TV or at least the mobile for at least half an hour. So if we are trying to avoid that, and then he gets very angry on that.
I'm glad that you're trying to limit screen time. This is a positive thing that you're doing. But is it possible to give him any alternative recreational activities like physical play, football, anything that he enjoys
Yes,
doing?
ma'am. He has joined a sports academy. So he goes for 1 hour like badminton practice and all that. So
this anger is at home or at school?
He tries to show through his body language the anger at school. So he doesn't show it physically there, but at home he throws various objects and shows that he's angry. If I want a particular thing, so I want it right now. So he does that.
Okay. So is he like hyperactive? Like, do you feel that he's fidgety,
Yes,
hyperactive? Do you feel that his concentration, there is a problem? Like studies wise also, he doesn't sit for long. You have to sit with him with the homework. He doesn't finish his tasks, leaves it half completed.
Yes, till 3rd standard he was doing it by himself, and he used to give him some time, but by himself also he used to complete his homework. But recently, like for the last 6 months, he has developed this kind of concentration issues.
Any change in his friend circle? Any change in people around him?
No, ma'am.
Change in
They are the
grandparents were there
same.
initially, not there?
The only thing is
Anything
that,
like that?
ma'am, we consulted a doctor. They say that he's entering the adolescence period, so there might be certain changes in his body and all. So that might be
He's
one
a
of.
preteen actually. He's only like 10 years old. But what you could do, ma'am, is just get him screened for ADHD, ma'am. There's something called as attention deficit hyperkinetic disorder, where children have problems in concentration. They are hyperactive. They're impulsive. So if you could do some attention enhancing tasks, some behavioral regulation, some relaxation exercise, some strict control of gadget time, improving physical activity, and like whenever there is like he throws things, that is the behavior that needs to be modified. So when he's calm, you have to tell him that this is some behavior which is not acceptable. And you cannot obviously like it is not, you can't hit him back and things like that, but you will have to show it in different ways that this is unacceptable. So that
And
needs to be
after
worked
that
on.
action, he feels guilty. Sorry, he says, "Mama, I'm sorry, I did the wrong thing. I shouldn't have done that." So he realizes also.
So you can give him something called as a timeout, in which there is a thinking chair where he needs to sit for 10 minutes and think if such a thing happens. It's called timeout principle. It works on principles of operant conditioning that can also be done.
Okay.
And you can also try token economy, in which for 1 week, if he doesn't have any such behavioral outbursts, he will get 1 hour of screen time on, say, Sunday. Otherwise, no screen time. So he has to earn his screen time by good behavior.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. This will be really helpful for me. Thanks a lot. You have
Thank
been
you,
a
ma'am.
diva in my life, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being so kind.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
May I ask you a question, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, as parents and as teachers also, we try to give a conducive, environment to our children. But at times, there are few things which are beyond our control, which is called as peer pressure. You know, and children, especially in adolescence age, what they do is they are trying to copy or they are trying to imbibe the habits what their peers are having. So how can we reduce the influence or a negative influence rather of these things on our children, be it our own children, ma'am? Because there are some negative things, ma'am, which has been observed, which is extremely negative nowadays. Some they have suicidal tendencies, and it is kind of a fashion, and they don't think twice to do such. Son, he's 16 years old, and he tried to do that, and he tried to hide also from his mother that, and he gave some false reason saying that I went to. So this is something which is very alarming, ma'am. And how can we see to it that our children, be it students or our own children, are not affected by it?
So this is regarding this index case of your friend's child who it's what is called as a copycat suicide attempt. There's some person where they see the suicide and attempt and they would try it. So these children are themselves distressed. It's not just copycat, just like that. They are mentally distressed, and then they see somebody in which they are able to, relate somehow. They may do something similar. So peer influence is something which is universal, and during teenage years, it's maximum. So at that point of time, spend having spending time with your teen is important. So make it a routine to speak about your daily, the things that you did during the day, what they did, and how was their day, and what happened, and what are the fun things they did, and what are the things that they remember from today. So if you make it a habit to just discuss their day out from as soon as you can start it, it would be helpful. And don't judge them. Like if they share with you about somebody who did something crazy, but you crazy in quotes, but don't say that out loud because they don't want to hear anything bad about their friends. So just listen, don't say anything. And simple things like how you would have done it differently, or do you think this was the wise thing to do, would be better than saying, oh, how stupid, or this was crazy, why did they do that, that's so absurd. So don't adjectivize their peer group, and try to be as non-judgmental, and try and see if they open up to you. It's difficult, by the way. It's not easy to work with the team.
Ma'am, thank you so much for your inputs. But, ma'am, I am a good listener in that matter. Okay. And my children, they feel free to speak to me and discuss everything, whatever is happening in their lives. But the thing is, ma'am, what after that? We do not judge or we do not say these things, but then what can we do after this? How can we lesser the impact of these peers? And because they see a lot of things, they are vulnerable also. So I don't think so it is getting unnoticed by them, it is getting registered somewhere. So how can we reduce the negative impact of all these things, ma'am? What more
Can
we
you give
can
me a
do?
particular thing that you are thinking about? Like, what is the, if you can give me the incident which has made you think like that, that would be helpful.
Ma'am, it is a general observation that, nowadays, whichever teenagers you take, ma'am, or whichever school you take for that matter, they are more inclined towards gadgets or what is happening on the social media, or they have their accounts on what you say, Instagram. It may happen that we do not have an account or we do not know how to operate it, but they do have an account without the knowledge of the parents. So this is not something which is happening with one child. It is a trend, ma'am, nowadays. So being in this era, how can we, if we tell something to our children or to our students, they feel that, we are old school and we are not really trying to be with them. So how can we erase that understanding or misunderstanding, ma'am, for that matter,
Ma'am, we are old
and
school.
make them
I mean,
listen to
first,
us.
I am old school. So first I accept that.
We all are,
Yeah,
Adu,
we are
ma'am,
all
but
old
yeah,
school.
yeah.
And every generation, there is a generation gap. Like, we were having issues with our seniors, our juniors are having issues with us. So things are changing very fast with this chat GPT, AI, and this so many social media platforms and so much of information overload. It's very difficult to keep up. Like for example, my current Zoom meeting is on my phone. While if it had been somebody like 20 years younger, they would be probably doing it much more easier than I'm having to do. So the whole system is different now. Like the children, they think differently, and we have to be to be able to uh, influence any change. They have to accept us. The only way to do it is to be as non-judgmental, and like you were saying, now you are patient with your kids. Being patient is the way forward, and suggestions should not come directly from us. It should be in a very very subtle and way. Yes, if you direct, but how could this be have been done differently, or any new ideas, or how could this help you to change for the future? Anything more vague would help more. Because if you say directly, then automatically they become very defensive.
Right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that.
Thank you, ma'am. So we are almost coming to the time allotted to me. And I'm so glad that people have been receiving so much of inputs, which will help me to improvise on my next presentation. And I really thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Many a times online becomes like a one-way platform where you don't feel the connect with the audience. But fortunately, in this case, the audience has been so active, and I'm so thankful to all of you for making this a happy event, and where we could share and discuss. I'm sure I didn't answer all the questions well, but there are times when it is easy to tailor make from case to case basis than to say in general. So thank you, everybody, and thank you for the questions. Thank you for your take-home messages. Thank you, organizers. So I would like to end my presentation. Yes, ma'am.
I'm in chat box. One question is there, ma'am. It's been from a long time.
Yes, ma'am.
Srividya has asked how to control overthinking, madam.
Overthinking. So first is to understand that you're overthinking. Okay, many a times we don't understand, but we'll be same thing. Somebody said something bad to us during the day, and whole day we're thinking, same thing. So first to understand that it is something is just going out of control. So second is to change the scenario. So if you're sitting in a place which is all cooped up and closed room, get some fresh air and have a glass of water to cool down your system. Do some activity totally unrelated to what you're doing. Then listen to music, go for a drive. If that also doesn't help, write it down on a piece of paper that this is what upset me, and now I'm going to stop thinking about it, and tear that paper into 100 pieces and dispose it. Try that.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a very insightful and engaging session. Now, before we go to vote of thanks, ma'am, I request all the participants to on the camera for a group photo. Yes, I request all the participants to on their camera for a group photo. I request the participants to on the camera for a group photo. So once again, I request all the participants to on your camera for a group photo. On behalf of SDM College of Business Management, Postgraduate Center for Management Studies and Research, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Supriya AICTE-ATAL for gracing us with her valuable time, insight, and expertise. Madam, your session was truly enlightening, engaging, and inspiring all of us. We deeply appreciate your efforts in sharing your knowledge and practical guidance, which will have a lasting impact on all the participants. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I would also like to thank all the participants for your active participation in this session. Thank you. And participants, kindly note that Google feedback form will be shared in the chat box as well as WhatsApp group. And kindly share your valuable feedback for this session. And the afternoon session will start at 2 p.m. And the afternoon session will be on women's health in all stages of life. Dr. Hema Malya would be addressing this session. So I request all of you at least 10 minutes prior to join the link. Same link. Yes, thank you all. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Madam, participants are asking, can they get your PPT, madam? Can we share it with them?
Yes, please. Yes, please, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
madam.
Bye. Bye.